A good, great morning to all of those who tuned into the realest thing coming out of Guyana. What a beautiful morning it is. It's Monday morning in the city of Georgetown, the capital city of what I know as one of the greatest countries in the world. It has given, it's given an environment for me to grow and to become the realest thing. So I pay respects to the country of my birth. Yeah. I know no other nation. Other nations are touted as being greater nations. But what greater nation can there be than that of my birth? What greater woman can there be than my mother? What greater children or better children can there be than my children? And that's some of the things that's the main thing I want to talk about this morning. You. How do you see yourself? Is your life and how you're seen and how you is defined? How you define yourself, is it defined by others? Should that be? Now the truth is, if you look at politics, you'd realize the definition, what defines certain people is the political party. You understand? Certain people you'd believe they barn a PNC. That's the funny thing. And that's the difference. I want to use political parties. I want to use different things. We're going to use political parties. We're going to use relationships. These are the things that affect us. We're going to use race. Now, why so? Joey, good morning. The government of the day is presenting the platform, but the opposition is touting a welfare system. Very good morning. Jazz, good morning. Azim, morning. Gail, good morning. Marilyn, morning. Chandra, morning. A good morning to you, and please share the live. So, look at politics in this country. And again, as we stand and we sit here, the People's Progressive Party is a predominantly Indian party, and not that it touts itself that way. It's a matter of fact. More Indians are within the PPP. And because of how history came along, because of how things happened in the past, that is where it is. It is presently touting itself as the only multiracial party in the country, as touted by the vice president. But nonetheless, the majority of people within the party are East Indian. It's open arms, so you got a lot of blacks coming in now and becoming a part of the party. But nonetheless, the greater amount of people in the party are of Indian ancestry. Right? Then you got the PNC, a party that is made up mostly of black people. Those are matter of facts. And sometimes you're discussing these things and you're dealing with it head on and be like, man, how you put them, so how you say, there's no delicate way to place the truth. The truth can be watered down. The truth can be misunderstood if it's not presented as the truth. I can't present the truth in a manner to suit 750,000 people different feelings. I just got to present the truth. 750,000 different people gonna feel differently about how the truth is presented. I can't present it 750,000 ways. Right? So if you look at politics in this country and how it's gone, and you look at how over the years the voting pattern of the people who support the PPP, and I've already laid it out, who are the core supporters of the PPP, you would realize, as a result of an interest of want, as a result of the interest of personal development. Yesterday I passed at the Well Road, on the back road, and I saw a flag flying. And it said, honesty and decency, APNU. And I look at it and I calculate, who is this to insult? Because the PNC continually over the years have reached out to the thugs, the hooligans, anybody that could create unrest, and made that their support base. So if you're going to say honest, you is an honest and decent person, what are you trying to do, insult me? But it happens, people continue to support. Now, this is not to say what anybody should do. You could do what you want to do. We're coming to the point. We're laying out existing facts between people in this country. And then we'll come to the point of success, where you want to be in life. This is health, wellness, and this is personal. But you got to lay it down. If somebody has an argument, different. Now, if you look at what the PNC does, it tells you. That's why they can't argue this and get out of this fact that I'm laying here. They tell you that the PPP take and give their own. In 2015, that is what I was told. That is why I voted for the PNC. The PPP take and give their own. So the PPP, by definition, by the PNC's definition, is providers. Now, it can't work that way in a society where when a political party is elected to government, they have to provide for everybody. So if there are limited resources, as it used to be in the past, and you take those resources and make sure your family is taken care of first, what then is the problem? Well, the problem is in politicians' quest for power. Rini Bipat, good morning. Vidya, a good morning to you. Savitri, a great morning. William Smith, good morning to you. Share the live. Yeah. So if you take care of your family first, with the limited resources you have, that too is a problem. And I'm going to be starting episodes this morning. As you notice, we come on just a little after 7 o'clock because the program is going to be starting 7 o'clock in the morning. And I'm looking and I'm thinking, I have become extremely successful as a result of changes I've made in my life. And I had to sit and ask myself, have I done enough? No, I've not done enough. I'm not doing enough. Because in a day, I have become, in recent years, just in the last 2 years, I've become extremely successful because I used to waste most of my day. For all the years that I have lived as a businessman, for all the years I've been an entrepreneur, I maybe worked 2 hours a day. I maybe put 2 hours effort into anything a day. At this time, I have made changes in my life. And let's say I'm up to about 6 hours a day. What am I doing for the rest of the day? I wake up on average 4:15, 5:15. and I go to sleep about 9 o'clock. What am I doing with my life? Now, again, as a result of changes I've made in my life, disciplines that I've infused in my life, I stopped drinking, get rid of most of friends. As a result of these disciplines that I've adopted, I'm extremely successful. I used to be like this, and after 2020, and I said, Bano, you gotta get your life, your health and everything organized. It ended up so. You understand? So, I'm looking at the extra time I have. I'm looking at what is making me a success. I'm looking at the new developments in my life. And I'm saying, by the way, we're going to come to the big man just now who was beating his daughter. He's to be charged and placed before the court today. And I'm going to call some people and they're going to tell you he's a spiritualist and all them things now. That's why when I was talking about his issue, I was wondering who asked where she get his medicine from. Everybody's asked what the medicine is for. Right? So he's a big Obi man in the village. A lady called me and said, this man used to beat his wife, beat you and run your son out. The same son we he talking about. Beat the lady, your son, she run out your brazier and panty. Never went back to the home. He's an abusive man. Today at 9 o'clock at Cove and John, he'll be going to court. You guys could go down there and witness the monster. So just now we're going to open the phone lines and have people call. So I'm telling you about success. So I'm doing extremely well. Show this. I've come a long way. Now what you going to hear, buddy? You imagine what you going to hear? You imagine you got belly with loop? Eh? You remember when you go Easter Day, Easter time, you say put a loop on the kite? What you going on there, Banner? Me had belly with loop. Jesus Christ, boy. Belly with loop and poop. What kind of thing is that? By the way, you guys know my first meal is about 11 o'clock in the day, right? 11, 12 o'clock. So, this is where I've come from. I ain't want to start showing you how far I come. I ain't get ready to the boasting part. I don't like boast. You understand? I show you this fat piece of shit. This is what we're talking about right now. You understand? I watching the picture this man. I say, how your belly just get loop? Eh? You look at me head there. Look here. Look at me head there. And imagine me watching down for see. Well, you could see here, boy. That's why they tell you every inch your waist is loose. You just put on an inch of penis. But it's not there. You just see back an inch with it missing. Eh? Watch here. Watch me line of sight. If I was to watch down, let me say just arch me head. Because me necking up my hinges, it can't cover. And I watch down, straight down. You understand? Me bellied out, but 3 inches. No. That's about, me belly was out about 4 inches. That mean a whole half of the crescent I wouldn't have been able to see. You understand? What are you doing to yourself, boy? How about the seriousness from me face now? You imagine people just do this to themselves? You imagine people just eat to this state? This don't happen naturally, you know. You gotta put something. You gotta put more thing in that is needed to come to this state. Jesus Christ, boy. So, all right. So, here now people saying showcase how it then now. Well, here I can tell you. Me and going, you know, it's always been an extreme banner. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Talk to me.
Is this Michael Rodriguez, right?
Speaking, sir. How can I be of help to you?
Okay, I got a personal question, not to do with your life. Do you do small contracts, like fences and stuff, concrete fence?
Yes, my brother. I just finished a concrete drain.
Oh, concrete fences, okay. So,
What's the length of the concrete fence?
Do you go about, excuse me?
What's the length of the concrete fence?
The yard size is 107 by 53, and you're doing 3 sides. 1 long side, 2 short sides.
Roger that. How soon do you want to get this done?
I would prefer you give me can I get a verbal quote or a written quote?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I'm actually calling you from.
I understand that, but here what happened. It has to do with how soon you want to get it done. Because if you want to get it done right away, I'll make an engineer available. I'll go there, let them do the measurements. You tell me what designer, we give you a quote. But if you want to do it when you save up your money next year and you're just thinking about it, well, when that time comes, we deal with it. Because if I give you a quote right now, remember, cost of living going up, the price of blocks and everything might go up by the time you're ready to do it.
I understand.
So, if you want to do it now and next week, you tell me, send a location to me, I'll have an engineer go there, do the measurement, you tell me the concept of which you would like. You want a concrete fence, you want a wood fence with mesh, how you want it done?
No, concrete.
Well, right? So, you send the details to me with the address and so on, and the time period that you're looking at, and we will get somebody to look at it immediately.
I'll contact you back. I can text you, right?
Roger that, Chief.
All right. Have a good one, man.
If me a thing, me take on any work. The problem, like the Chinese man said, cheap thing no good, and good thing no cheap. You understand? And me don't do what Chinese man does do. Chinese man got everything for you. Me got protect, me company got protect itself in life. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. I'd like to remain anonymous for the sake of my relative.
Okay.
I'm sorry I didn't catch it live on Saturday morning. And I usually tend to catch it at the end of the day, so I'm sorry if this is off topic right now. The story with the man who's brutalizing his child, it hit home to me because my relative is in a very similar position. The mother of the child, the friend of the mother of the child called and said that the mother had gone back to Child Protection Services and they did nothing, correct?
Yeah.
So my relative is in a very similar position where the father of the child brutalizes the child, is spiteful towards the mother by taking it out on the child. The man has gone to the family's home and he has disturbed the peace, ranted and raved, and the mother has gone back to Child Protection Services and nothing was done about it. And, I'm sorry, I'm a bit emotional. He's a relative of a high-ranking police official, and when reports have been tried to be made or whatever, all we get is they can't do nothing because we's police. So these can't be the only two.
So somebody tells you that somebody tell you that they can't do not because there's police.
Yes, nothing.
You better start calling name. Who police we talking about?
So I would like to. I don't want to focus on that, but I want to.
Man, what the fuck you call me for? Girl, waste me time. You are saying people are trampling on your rights. High-ranking official. Call the name. Hey, listen to me. Don't waste my time. You don't have to call your name, but don't waste my time. Call the name. What do you believe I got this program for? You are saying high-ranking official you don't want to focus on. That's what you want to focus on. Call name. High-ranking official and they're saying them as police. It's the biggest bullshit story I've ever heard. And you started with it early Monday morning. It's bullshit. Call name. A man coming and beating y'all and saying he got it. Me? We believe this day here for this open season. You want to help somebody. Somebody's under circumstances. But you got you niceties and fancy dandy way you want it done. It doesn't work like that. If you're in, you should be all in. If there's a child involved, somebody being abused, a mother being abused, or a child being abused, there's no nice way to address that. And too many times, you believe anybody could come in front of me? I got a aluminum baseball. Listen to me. They got another side of me that people don't see. I got an aluminum baseball bat in me trunk there. You believe I rolling up on anybody? See a man beating a woman or a man on top of a woman raping her, she held for raping her. I say, oh my, what are you doing there, sir? Desist. Cease and desist, sir. My. That is wrong. That should not be. Thou shalt be the protector of women. Me? I go in me car trunk and walk him on your knee. You understand? Bullshit. I don't know what to deal with that. What you call me for deal with? For hear your nice fancy voice. I will have it. Yes, and this is a problem. And child care. And yes, and it's bullshit. That's the problem with this society. I ain't sure. No. Let's do this. You understand? No, I don't want to deal with that at this time. What do you want to deal with? Go walk. Go and do your 9 to 5. Go and walk and read a fudging book and left the people with a problem. God so help them. God so help them. People abusing people, and you got a way and a style and a fashion how you want the abuse to dress. Must skin up. All is lost. Like, you understand what you calling me for? If the child care protection system and the police system fail the people, what you call here for? It's skin up time. Hello, good morning.
You mad.
Mad bad. Somebody call and say mad. No, you know. Wait. What kind of insult you calling me? I'm telling you I'm mad. Blood clot crazy. Yeah. You know? And hear how he kind of just silent. You're mad. Damn insulting to me. He looking at a full-fledged lunatic. And he's just gonna come and say, what? You're mad? In such a nice tone of voice. I expect you to say, you're mad. Yo. All right. Back to regular programming. Let me run the WhatsApp messages and see what's going on here. Imagine I got a contact list of 25,000 people. Good morning, Critic. Have a blessed day. Let me hear this one I say.
Good morning, Mr. Critics. Blessed morning to you. I saw your live this morning. I was looking at your live this morning and I see you have merch for sale. I need one of those Critics stick up.
I got merch for sale? Merch? Where's merch? Where's March? Teacup. Merchandise. Oh. No, me got I got wow. Damn. I want this thing. Where can I get this? I want this thing. Let me show. Where can I get that? Guys, can you get this thing for me? Let me show you what I want. Oh my god. I want this photo. Hold on, let me download it. Where can I get this photo, guys? Anybody know where I could get this? Where can I get this piece of, or can somebody do this for me? Can I get this done? Yeah. I'd love to have a piece like this. Yeah, I like that. Merchandise. Yeah, merchandise. We start with the merchandise and say yeah. So we start with the merchandise and say yet. So Hema, good morning, sir. I have something I want to share with you. My friend called me on Friday because she was out with her partner and he has some other friends. One of the friends, by the way, who always talk down women. When her partner left to go to the washroom, she said her that she is a whore. When the guy comes back and tell him he said she wants to leave, he said, okay, just now we will leave. She said, we take a cab and leave. He can stay cause at the point she's uncomfortable. But has her there for over an hour and the friend is still going on and on about women. The guy said nothing, does nothing. My friend said she felt really messed up cause as the man in the relationship, he didn't stand up for her. Where and when will our men protect our partners? Well, this is up for discussion. Because what is the relationship between these two guys? Now, any man that is known to me, me tell you about maniku. I don't get, listen to me. I have slapped people and broke their jaw. So a banner wrong in close perimeter to me, a banner won't sit down for me table and disrespect me, woman. This is the first thing. You understand what I'm telling you? I would get up and assault you. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello, good morning. What are you talking about this morning, man? I want to get a discussion. What are you talking about?
You just want to talk. You gotta watch the program. Hello, good morning. Yeah, brother. Hello? Yeah, brother. No, I hang up and listen to you. But what's saying? You gotta look at the program and come in with what you want to talk about. Me can't tell you what I look at the program. Well, you talk about anything. If you want, cuss me and I'll test though.
I mean that cuss you, brother. Why you cuss you for cuss?
Well, come in. What bothering you? What?
All right, two questions bother me, man. The girl with the minister is, man. Why you never interview the girl? Why you never interview her?
Well, obviously, you're lacking the capacity to understand how victims are treated in cases like that. Nobody interviewed her. And it is against the law to do such. So since you're now informed, you're now better informed, what is your other question?
So it is against the law to interview her because she's a Jew?
You don't understand English language? I just tell you. You want to start a national debate on it? Go to parliament, outside of parliament, right? What is going to fulfill? No, here was the problem. Since you're deaf on it, like talk to men like you. Because y'all got a perverted streak in you. A victim come out and says This is what happened to them.
Okay.
You imagine, you so fucking perverted that you want to hear how it happened, when it happened, partner. I sick to me stomach. Me want to hear nothing more. I want justice be served. You hear what I tell you? When I hear, I want...
Listen to this. So why the minister, they didn't give the 72 hours? Why they lose it so quick?
My brother, I don't know.
Instead of the thing,
All I know is why me body still tight. I know never allow nobody to push nothing. Me body doesn't make me body still tight, right? So
yeah, but you should have looked into this. Listen, man.
Look into what?
Man supposed to spend 72 hours.
My brother here was telling you, whole day man has get these problems with these PNC people. Here, well, let me tell you something. You got people, you got ministers, MPs protesting outside the office of the president. You got everybody out and up against this thing. Me is not the last one. All I can tell you is about me. You understand? Me going to push me body no place where it's supposed to be. That's how I still get constipated. You understand? So people free. Why? Me, you know, I in there in that. He call. Why me? I'm not gonna let him know. Why the minister? Why? I don't know. Hello, good morning.
Hey, Critic, morning. Nobody that perverted big man. The man who didn't make it.
Why you were into...
Something serious.
No. Yeah, talk to me.
And he called you Friday for talk about this Diamond Hospital thing. And then you guys forget me, you forget the gap left to go. But Diamond Hospital thing getting out of hand ridiculous now, no man. They started working there. They're really mistreating people when we go. Look, last time my niece went down, she taking with diarrhea, vomiting and thing, had that fever thing. They went to the hospital from 7 o'clock till after 12 o'clock last night. Can't see a doctor. They tell the girl that oh, there's an emergency, and wasn't no emergency. I mean, you sit down there, you can see if an emergency come in.
All right.
Left and come home.
Let me
We need to highlight this thing, man.
Let me follow up with it. Well, we need to highlight is highlighted, but let me follow up with it.
No thing for me.
Safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine you want it. This is somebody make a report. So how it going? It hard? You hollering? What the what's wrong with people? He called from New York. How retarded you gotta be? Critic, why you interview the girl? You imagine me, the Guyanese critic, sit down with a teen. So, how was it? What the fudge are you asking the child? You understand the perversion in these people? I give it that he might be calling for make a joke or... Buddy, you can't... Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Critic. I'm calling to tell you keep up your good work.
Thanks.
I enjoy watching you.
Thanks, ma'am. No. Even if you call, how perverted you could be. If you call and we're trying to make joke. The next thing is, me ain't got no qualms with what you would say, buddy. Me ain't got no cool. That is why I can't be put down. I got a 5-second response time. I have answered thousands of times. You know why? Because I'm the realest thing. If you ask, okay, I gotta be, if I know, I guess a partner me know. I give up. Right? No, as him, somebody said they didn't see. You can't interview a victim. After the story, boss, so the victim was taken into child care protection. But outside of that, you don't have the authority to interview a minor. I have done in the past, interview minors, but because the story came to me, Let me say somebody come to the studio here, but the data said something with that, and I interview, record it and everything, and then call in Child Protection Agency right away. And I could bust the story and talk on what I heard. I could remember Abano, this was down at the city council. So a young man reached out to me, and told me about a constable will lock you up and tell you Lucy if he give you the lolly for suck. You are suck the little by lolly. That constable lost his job as a result of me breaking the story. But I didn't show the buy. I come and talk the story, skin up the story, child care protection get involved inside. And I interviewed the boy. I could remember me when someone they interviewed the boy on Main Street. And I recorded it to make sure I had a recording that is factual what I was saying. And I post up the picture of the constable. Yeah, I go to Hammer Time. YouTube Hammer Time. And one of Hammer Time episodes is with the constable. Let me see if I could find it. Hammer Time on YouTube. Hammer Time on YouTube, right? Where is this? Hammer Time Guyana. All right, so one of the Hammer Time Guyana, episode 2, episode 1. So I only had about 3 episodes. At City Hall, Hammer Time, City Hall. We used to get program. Watch, show them this.
Hammer Time with the Guyanese Critic, and today we will be discussing issues relating to.
This, me used to try a thing here, right? But me used to uncomfortable. There's a, you know, Lang, this is about 7 years ago, but 5, yeah. This couple of years ago, we had a proper production. You understand? This was Winston's thing. Let me see. I used to read from a script and so. How me used to uncomfortable. Let me see if I got this perverted. One of these episodes got the thing. And when I put up the map picture and said this man was suck little by lowly. Let me see what's going on. Talking about City Cup.
Bins on the road, throw it out on the road because they're in.
Hammer Time. Let me see. Hammer Time. Hammer Time. I don't think the episodes used to have. Let me see what this used to be.
Look out for Hammer Time with the Guyanese Critic this and every Saturday on my Facebook page.
Yeah. So, imagine we start so nice, and music look so good. I mean, get so wild. Here, I got a script I got to read from, right?
Let me see what this used to be.
So,
look out for Hammer Time with the Guyanese Critic this and every Saturday on my Facebook page.
it's with the blood clot going.
Yeah.
It come out there? Yeah. So, here now, Winston got me, we got green screen, this my sweating, I got bloke, me shut me, thing wet all over. We there in a room in Rap Street. Yeah, sir. When the church start up next door upon the car now, we can't record, it's that kind of thing. Now you just walk in the street and say, lights, camera, action! Yeah, sir, I just go berserk. And it's a program. Here with Sadalo, me and he go interview. He go do an interview with a little boy who said this man lock him up and tell he, if he give you lolly for suck, he gonna Lucy. So I go up and put up the man picture, call his name 100. I said, this is a pervert. Here when so no, you can't do that. I said, you and me here with the little boy just say, I speak to the victim. He's a pervert. You understand? He's a pervert. It was illegal ram. I said, I don't care if it was illegal ramification. Why no? Because I want he stop molesting little kids. This way, man. You understand? Yeah, I must go check the man, city council thing, right? Me making no play, right? I represent, and the victim and me doing them thing now. Damn, I put it in my picture. Hello, good morning. We really ran with it yet. So here, this story here, right? So let me talk about this story here. So the guy said none. So a woman is with a man, and when he go to the washroom, and some friends, when he go to the washroom, one of the friends telling the girl she's a whore. She felt uncomfortable. She wanted to leave. But what's the circumstances? What's the circumstance? So two man is friend. Now there ain't got no circumstance under which a man should treat a woman in that manner. Or a man should treat me woman. Now Louis said, what's gonna happen? I tell him, my friend banner this girl got a banner and she thing and so me friend picking up fire rate to me. But they got, there's an anti-man group they got. Because I can't tell no man close to me about a problem I have with a woman. I can tell them about a problem I have and how they could address it. Where they could shine me. But me complaining to none of me male friends about me woman and what me woman do me. You understand? So right away, she looking, she then ran because she got tell this banner. What happens after? Remember now she tell the banner she want left. She ain't say, my your friend just call me a whore. But what happens after? And if you man carry you with the drinking buddies and they don't have discipline, because here I tell you, I'd make you eat a glass partner. If I did that, me, lady, why rolling with black or someone, some man, the banner is disrespect. I'd make you eat a glass. I'd make you eat a whole glass. I'd push a glass in your mouth and broke your jaw. I don't have no time. Bible advice keep me carnal. You see me keeping me carnal? It's not for me safety. It's for people's safety. Yes, and you go to Loziknan and Annandale and them thing now and ask people about me. You go Django Tongue and ask them fisherman. I know about gang wars. You go to Loziknan, double road, by the vulcanizing shop and ask Chris at the tire shop there. Always there for the same thing. Go in double road, they got a man sell tire, they ask Uncle Posh. And we broke up with them thing we used to see outside people running all about the place. A rioting and all them thing now? Yeah, it's the banner. When you say keeping me carnal from people, it's not for me safety. You know what I tell you? When you say keeping me carnal, like some place watch me say, Critic, we didn't know you so big. We thought you was a shot, man. So you thought wrong. You understand? I know what banner line up over some banner line up over here and it's war, cutlass and knife fight. All them mark this and all them thing though. Why you got for me skin? Yeah. It's them thing though. So when you say keeping me carnal, and I can't, like some people, every time somebody invite you, I say, buddy, yo, hard rocker is there. It's a secure environment. There's 2 doors, very close to when you're coming in and all them thing though. I know why they're comfortable. The people understand me. I could call, make me reservation, and I comfortable. Marriott is a certain class of people there wrong there. Me don't there wrong around me shop and all them thing no more. Because I have become less tolerant for nonsense. I am telling you now in this day and age, if I sit down with me woman, with friends, and somebody disrespect me woman, it will turn from 0 to violent immediately. People don't even, let's show you something. People don't even talk, but people who are close to me, with me, because they know I don't dang no talk name thing. I don't dang talk. You can't catch me in a voice recording, talking but nobody. Straight up, wherever I say, hey, I can say about me program, me morning program. I don't care. Literally don't care. You understand? When you see me, Like the other day. When Yokohama making me something with the old car where they sell me. You know what I know? I hit the roof pad. I see dark. And I get till over the roof. I'm glad I wasn't there at the showroom. Now, knowing that I have these issues. I accept I have them. Knowing that, I care myself in a certain manner. Hunt who's Hunt? Hunt, newbie queen. What you saying here, sweetheart? You're making a threat? Somebody saying, imagine this thing that's interviewed the vice president. Yeah. The realest thing coming out of Guyana. I accept thing. The realest thing coming out of Guyana. Don't get more real in it. Right? The realest thing coming out of the country interviewing the most powerful politician in the Caribbean. And that's the problem with this society. A lady called me that. She critic man, the cousin. I say, auntie, you ain't got to worry. You know my extremes. I ain't gonna play nice. You understand? And running down your little daughter and your little son. What you see is what you get. I ain't got nothing surreptitious to offer. I ain't got nothing to hide. And you know exactly my extremes. You understand? That's the problem. Everybody acting nice. And there's a set of dirty, vile, stinking, minded people behind the scene. Not me. You understand? Not me. I am as real as it gets. Right? Were you witnessing? You never witness. In your argument, that look at this thing, what is be interviewing Vice President Jaguar, in your argument, you're also accepting that Jaguar as a politician is expressing a certain level of tolerance second to none. The most powerful politician in the Caribbean. Sits and does exclusive interviews with the Guyanese, the most powerful politician. You try to get an interview with Narton. Anybody, the best journalists. Try to have a one-on-one with Narton, see if anything makes sense. That is the problem. Now I tell you, time your battle and word, but no, meantime I'm gone. No, Hunt, I up to the times too. Don't worry, I get your message. I up to the times. I know, man. I even got battle can't watch everywhere you go now is plastic battle. You ain't got battle. Man, relax yourself, man. Hunt, like you trying to pull me out, ever. Like you trying to pull me up. Pull me out. I up to the times too. I know now it's not battle and cutlass and knife times, but I up to the times too. But that's what the problem in our society. Like the other day, see a man pull out a knife, and next man pull out a gun from a distance and shoot in the foot. Although the man pull out the knife, the man didn't progress to him. You understand? You got time for everything. Here, that's the kind of, if I strap, and a man square up so with me, and as gentlemen, we gonna fight. Straight up. You understand? As if a man no pull a knife or something, what he could do. Now just interview with VP dinner so that harassed by somebody catch me in a photo here. Now there's we personalization. Good morning, time ago, there was a video where a madman hitting a young man in a trench with a wood in his head. Sadly, people are taking a video instead of helping. There's a lot of things wrong with people today. The incident, yes, I can remember when the madman beat the banner and kill him, bury in the drain and kill him. Me can't there and see the partner. No, me can't. Me can't was the circumstance. Me can't see a madman killing another man. Me can't. Not only as Mikhail Rodriguez, I've always been this way. I've always been. Here, you see how this girl sent this story about somebody disrespecting a friend wife? I got a friend named Redman. We call him Redman from Good Hope back. Let me tell you the story. These are stories. By the way, I've started, today I've started a journey on my first book and will be, with the beginnings of the Guyanese Critic. Because I think in what is left of this beautiful life afforded to me, I want to write a few books. I want to leave something for the world other than these videos. Right? So, some bana come, we used to live on the dam at Loziknan. If you all know East Coast Loziknan, we panta there, opposite is the center, wrong side of the center, wrong at the dam there. We used to live, they used to live on the dam. I didn't used to live there, I used to walk at panta. And some bana come and disrespect his wife. I betray them merciless. Beat them merciless. Every time I broke down the house. Broke. There's them little squatting house, them little wood house. Broke down the house. And there's me friend wife. Now, I was 17. I don't even know if I detect wife yet. From a very young age, I knew. From that age. Although at that time, I was lacking the knowledge and the maturity and the ability to express a certain level of discipline, but I knew wrong from right. You understand? Me playing part, man. I ain't going in between two man with cutlass. Me playing part, man. Me know for do that. But if I see a man, if two man decide they gonna do sword fence, you understand? You gotta know. That's one of the problems. You gotta know. Where, when, why, how. For who? If you see a man advantage in another, you cannot stand there and see that. People thinking about it, say, hey, if I last year something wrong with he know. My brother, so be it. Like a man there, stand up and coffee. She said, will you stand up and do it, man? Are you studying if you naki? Me study if I naki. When I done naki, then we can study with the circumstances of naki. You understand? I am saying, not only naturally, that is not naturally. By law, no man is supposed to be assaulting no woman. Naturally, you're supposed to know that. You see a man and a woman arguing and all that thing, you say, oh, watch on and that thing. It's an argument between two. Even if you holler. Oi, man, oi, make people know, no, stop that. What's wrong with you, man? They must know it's a wrong thing they're doing. Fair warning. So, yeah. This thing is about being positive. Now, what positives are you going to project in your life? Well, let me tell you what's going on. I what me yesterday. So, y'all know what happened me. Diets, exercises, and all these kind of things. I mean, they put much of no fancy diet. It's just that I depend fasting most of the times 18 hours a day, right? And I've noticed a lot of transformational, a lot of transformation in physically, mentally, and everything else. right? And yesterday now, me go over the river. Sunday, what I normally do is check all the work sites and so on. And I'm helping you out with this to be able to maybe use in your life, right? So my successes of recent can be attributed to me putting more time and effort into what I did. In the past, I've lived as an entrepreneur and made money and so on with basically using 2 hours of a day. I am at an area where I'm using just about 4 hours in a day. Yeah, by the time I done it, I do by the time I done my program and I go to the work sites, I have meeting with engineers, meeting with the different directors of the different companies, whoever. I have lunch, nothing really happens of importance or work related after lunch for me. It goes on to different things. And I'm calculating, how do I use that time wisely? If I am doing so extremely well with half a day, what can I do if I maximize the use of all the waste time in my life? What can I do? Right? How much more successful can I be? David Rodney, you're doing work for the PVP. You mean how can AP and new press conference be aired? Well, I've invited them. If the PNC wants a program of its own on my platform, they have been, maybe David Rodney, maybe you didn't see the message I sent. I showed it publicly in one of my programs. I sent to the opposition leader before elections where they would have been afforded the platform to do their ads or whatever they had. You might not have witnessed that. Yeah. Hi, good morning, sir.
Critic, I must tell you, you've come a long way. Is this Critic?
Yes, Chief. Everton, turn on the thing in the background there. Turn on the thing in the background. You'll listen back later. We can get feedback.
Okay. Good. Critic, you've come a long way. And I will tell you, the admiration that many of us have here in the diaspora for you probably is greater than you realize.
Thank you,
because, I met you once. The first time we met, I was on the seawall drinking a Guinness, and you pulled up to me, and we had an interview in your kitchen a few days later in South Rumvelt, I believe it was. And I, looking at this to see where you've come from and where you are today, man, it's an admiration. But beyond that, it's something that most Guyanese should aspire to. It's the culture of America. And sometimes I sit and think, how did Critic get the culture of America in him? Because that's how people behave in America when they're focused on what they need to be. I really look forward to seeing you continue to success. Now, the second thing I want to bring up was most of us in diaspora don't have reliable news services. You go to the social media, there's all crap and BS out there. And we struggle between what is real versus what's, not real. I would like to see TBN help us. Perhaps someone does a 1 hour broadcast every day, just telling us what's really going on in Guyana, because we don't really know. You can't read Kaiser News and get the truth. Stabrook News online, they go different ways, different days. You don't read Demerara Waves. Newsroom tries to do a few things, and so I think the one thing that you and TBN may be missing is the effect of the 400,000 of us that live overseas. And I moved back from Guyana to America. We'll talk about that later. How we look forward and grapple for reliable news every day. Not the smart and the whatever. We want to get this reliable stuff. What's happening in our country today? Third item, Critic. And this is something that is dear to me because as you remember, I was a member of a small party with Nigel Hines and Robert Badal. parted our ways today. But what has been very disappointing to me is my black colleagues, peers, friends, and family, when I try to relate to them what's best for Guyana today and what the PPP might be doing that is good, I am ready to be crucified like Jesus Christ, like it was, Good Friday. I've lost many of my family members and friends. They don't even speak to me no more because they think I'm PPP. I says, no, I'm not PPP. I never voted for the PPP. I'm just giving you the facts. It's a damn good party with a damn good idea that will be good for Guyana in the near term. Now, shifting gears a bit, the PPPC will have some challenges, and I am certain that they will win 2025.
Everton,
no doubt about it.
Just to interject here, because a lot of times we're talking and followers and supporters or people who are looking on do not understand. Let me break it down in simpler terms, because listening to Everton, you can't get the gist unless you're really paying attention. So Everton is a black man, first thing, that came back from the diaspora to help with country building. He joined a small political party and was very adamant about supporting that party and what that party would have done pre-2020 elections. So, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So we did interviews, and again, at no time Everton in his interviews would have been hopeful of the PPP. He was adamantly supporting, and had a detailed plan as to what supporting the Rabat Badal party would have been, and these kind of things. So hearing you say that, Evidence, now I really getting the gist of what you're saying. Obviously, something you would have experienced in the last 2 years that has caused that transformational thinking for you. So I just wanted the viewers to know your background, where you're from. When me and Everton is talking, we talking about getting rid of the PPP. That was the discussion.
That's correct.
When we first meet, it wasn't like where Everton say he losing his friends, and he had these friends and family. It's because at that time, he, me, and all the friends and family had the same program. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Some part, Everton and myself came to the realization that I said that this thing is hogwash and bullshit. And you got to not jump on the bandwagon, but you have to accept certain facts face on. And as much as I hear, do express bias, and people want to know, how so? How can a man say that and still remain neutral? Well, I can tell you, I express bias because in a past time, I used to go command and cost the PNC to get things done. Right? Yesterday, I spoke about, day before yesterday's last week, as a matter of fact, I spoke about a man abusing his daughter. This morning, and again, it's not as a result of my thing. A lot of people played a role. Big Smith played a role. The CPG from policing group and the police and everybody played a role because this was out there before. But the same thing that I talk about, the man is being charged this morning. 9 o'clock, he will be in court. There are cases that I'm called on. Someday I could call a minister and get the matter resolved. So I don't have to cuss publicly. Right? So I am expressing bias, you can say, because I am given an opportunity for right to be made. But outside of that, one of the things I've not done is tailored my program. So you could call in the program and say, here, I is a PNC, and why I is a PNC, and this and that. And we got to open forum. The only open forum, the only place and platform in Guyana where everybody could call, and if they have a valid argument, it is heard and made public. So Everton, back to you.
I think very well said, Critic. And I've always had the admiration for you, quite frankly, because I can see through some of the things you do. Some of it is satire, You have some fun, you have some jokes, and then there's some realness in what you deliver every day. And some Guyanese are, and I find a lot of them in America, actually more so than in Guyana, are sort of like disengaged from what you're really trying to do in terms of your message every day. But just moving on, I think, and I just have a couple of brief points. I think the PPPC will win re-election in 2025. And if you're black and you're PNC and want to duck your head under the sand and think differently, go ahead. But the realization is that's what's going to happen. Now, in 2030 is where I think Guyana today to 2030 may face some challenges. And it depends upon, as they say, rising waves moves all boats up. The problem is when the boat moves up, you're still at the bottom because the boats that were at the top move higher than you. And income and wealth distribution in Guyana will pose a problem for the PPPC in 2030 if they don't amend or look closely at some policies. I think Jack Dio and the team is doing a good job. As a matter of fact, I'll go far. I'm a black man. I'll go as far as this. We're lucky to have someone like Jack Dio alive today and in government because he really understands what's happening in the country and where we need to be. And I did disparage him in his economic knowledge during my campaign. But I would say he's a good economist. He's at a macro level. He's not at a micro level. And maybe that's some shortcomings for him.
Everton,
but
you're dropping short for me there.
Okay.
The most powerful politician in the hemisphere, in the Caribbean.
Okay, well, I would say it's a close call between him and Mia Motley because Mia has a more global focus, I would say.
But don't forget, Mia Motley didn't take Barbados out of anything like Jagdio took after Chedi Jagan 1992 because, again, Jagdio played an integral role since 1992 because he was finance minister. You understand?
True.
So look at where Guyana has come from. Mia Motley ain't played a role. She picked up Barbados, and I can tell you before Mia Motley come, Barbados was Barbados. And right now, Barbados is Barbados, the same Barbados. You understand?
Yeah.
Bharat Jagdio has played an integral role in the transformation as finance minister, president of this country, longest serving president, and then general secretary of his party, having the PNC busy for 5 years as opposition leader, and now vice president of Guyana again.
Yes. Yeah, you have a point. She's been able to guide some things that I think are very progressive for the Caribbean. And Jagdio did the same, especially with debt reduction for Guyana. I mean, he really saved us as a nation. And you see, this is something when a black man says this. I'm very pragmatic. I don't really care. I don't see the color of skin or anything. I'm very pragmatic. Who's doing the right thing? And that's why I sit here today and I'm saying what I hear from Norton. I met him once at the Hermiston Lodge. He and I sat down for a lunch for about an hour. And the guy had nothing to offer other than tell me he was from the PNC youth movement and he knew Burnham and where he came from. I mean, I wasn't there to hear that, man. I wasn't into that kind of. I was just wanted to hear where he's going to go and where he's taking Guyana, or where he thinks he can take Guyana. At that time, Granger was the president. I met Jack Dio at the new sleep-in hotel. Him, Ananda Dow, and Mr. Who's the guy in charge of our state there, Mr. Ben. I met the three of them during the last few days of the count. I saw you and your son. We were there as part of the recount.
Okay, yeah.
I happened to meet Miss Carol Joseph outside, and boy, they almost hung me up. I was lucky because I didn't know. You see, I left America so long and went back, so I thought everyone has a perspective that once you speak truth to power, people just listen. And those folks were ready to kill me. I was the first black man. Day 13 of the recount. that announced that the APNU lost the election. And I was going to be crucified. People from Britain, PNC stalwarts all over the place wrote up articles in Culture News disparaging me, my education, and everything else. But it was the truth, and I couldn't hide from the truth. You know, but I didn't know in Guyana you don't speak truth to power. You hide the truth. You know. Anyway, Critic, I don't want to take you up much longer. Last point, I really believe that this concept of race and apartheid that was held on by the APNU PNC leadership as part of their mantra. I think it's a false premise. And I think if they really want to get back in power, they need to focus on corruption, because that's really the root of most governments that get very powerful. Inevitably comes corruption. And in 2030, I think Jagdeo has a trump card in his hand, because I think he may put a black man to head the PPP by then. So I don't know what the PNC will do. Because if it's race and you have a black man running the PPP, I don't know what we're going to do as a nation. Anyway, nice chatting with you and your subscribers this morning. And I watch you every day. Trust me, I follow you every day. But if you can sort of bring TBN to get someone to give us like a half-hour snippet of the real news happening in the country, we would appreciate it.
Working on it, Everton.
That is reliable.
Working on it.
Thank you.
Safe. Thanks. Brother. Thanks for your input this morning. Now, on that note, I will move on. I think that was a positive discussion. It's been very enlightening. As I told you who Everton was, and he played an integral role in the election, not supporting. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks. I just calling. Last week I called you asking you for help for my transport. So I just called for find out anything.
Did you send the details to me on WhatsApp?
Yes. Yeah, I sent it. I sent the bill and I sent the sales agreement.
I will follow up with it this morning again. I haven't been able to follow up with it, but I will do so as soon as I come off from my program.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome, man.
Okay.
Yeah. So Everton, you hear people with substance. You understand them and what they're about. Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Critic.
Yes, my brother. How can I be of help to you?
Hi, good morning. I thought to invite you to Pride Party.
To what?
Pride Party.
Oh my God. He called to upset my day. But after that positive input by Mr. Everton Morrison, I will not be, persuaded from having the rest of an amazing day. I want to thank you guys for tuning in.